Got a trailer at the end of the road. A dusty path is where we abode. On the stars, lots heavy load. Tuesday comes, we're in cold. Rusty cars and broken dreams. Life ain't easy, or so it seems. Yet on Tuesday, sun still beams. We find hope right on these streams. Tuesday, oh Tuesday, we're alive in nowhere park. We thrive, laughing, dancing. We survive, together we come alive.
Hi, Allie. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Today I have GMAY with me. Hey, GMAY.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Happy 420. Happy 420, everyone. So, did anyone see the SAG Awards? Did you see the SAG Awards?
Oh, the Saga? These the Saga Awards?
Yeah, did you see them?
I missed.
They were on Sunday. Did you miss them?
What happened? What are these? The winners?
Those are definitely the winners. Yeah.
No, what
we'll
exactly,
talk about it.
Saga.
Yeah, the SAG Awards. It was on Sunday, and it was pretty inspiring. It was really fun to watch. I personally think that it is definitely an indication of who's going to win the Oscars. Yeah, it was fun. So, I mean, they started out the show. The fun thing that they started out the show, they have this, they call it style cam. And you know, at the Oscars, when they take their pictures, they're all stilted, but the style cam, they just let people walk up there and they're just they just have fun in their outfits. It's really cute. Yeah.
Do you think that the industry has changed a lot ever since, like, you have like Netflix and all these different mediums, Hula and this and that, and you can tell that there's a little bit of filming difference between that and how it used to be 20 years ago, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so different now, actually. There is no specific, these are the months that we shoot the pilots. So all the actors are like, ooh, it's pilot season. We don't really have that anymore. It's all mixed up now, actually. Yeah. And the other weird thing is, like, since living in Hollywood, it's very mixed up because now, I mean, people from Wisconsin or Texas, everybody can, apply to jobs, to Hollywood jobs, where it used to be you had to live here in Hollywood. I mean, things have changed a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that you see all these actors that used to be like on the mainstream hardcore big corporate film people are now all kind of getting gigs, on Netflix and
yes.
What are some of the other channels that are out there like that are?
Well, like, there's like Netflix, like some of my favorite series right now are on Apple TV.
Yeah, it's
fucking rocking series on Apple TV, like Severance. Severance is so good. It's really good. Hulu has originals now.
Yeah.
Hulu. So, I mean, some of the, like right now. So when they did the SAG Awards, they started out with the actor in film, and who won the actor in film was Kieran Culkin. It was A Real Pain. You can watch A Real Pain on Hulu right now. That's where I watched it. And so, yeah, I mean, they have so many different, that's it, A Real Pain. And I recommend this film. I give this film thumbs up.
This is on Hulu?
Yes, you can see it.
Watch it.
And so that's the interesting things with all these different streaming, because you could just look around and you can find the films that you want to see.
So what's this all about? I haven't seen this, The Real Pain.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I mean, I recommend it. So I watched A Real Pain. I actually was in the mood for something super exciting, right? But this is more character driven, you know. Yeah. About two cousins that are completely different, and their grandmother died, so she left them money to go to Poland to go on this tour, this Jewish tour on the camps.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really character driven, and it's really good writing because, you know, without showing a bunch of past scenes, they build Kieran Culkin's character. Like, we could really, halfway through, they haven't shown us any past, but we have built what his character is like. And that's good writing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I have to have good writing. You know me, and it's just like, I think the last time that I actually went to like an actual movie theater and watched a movie, me and Natasha went, and you're not going to believe this, we went and saw 50 Shades of Grey at the movies. When that come out? Like years ago. Yeah.
Was it funny?
Yeah, and you know, and then before that, I took my nephew to see like some Tarzan movie, and I can't take the CGI. I need good quality acting and drama. I don't like, you know, Aquaman where it's just all CGI. I just not
right.
You know,
right. That one looked like a fucking video game. I didn't see it, but from the ad for Aquaman, it looked like a video game.
Yeah, and
so good.
Everyone knows how I feel. I want the Godzilla in the rubber suit. I don't want the CGI Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so A Real Pain. So the interesting thing is, so this is what there's like two kinds of actors. There's like the actor who can play parts that are so different from them. And then there's the actor that is so good at playing who they really are. And I think that Kieran Culkin is really like this character. And you could really tell when he gave his acceptance speech.
And
he's just out there. He
won an award for this, huh?
Yeah, he won Best Actor. So I recommend A Real Pain. It's very good. Jesse Eisenberg, the other guy in it, he wrote it. And you can tell, you know, he's the Jewish dude. He's the conservative, shy guy, you know. Yeah. And he said that he hired Kieran Culkin only strictly because his sister told him to. Oh. And he said that he highly respects his sister. So Kieran Culkin, when he was accepting his award, he thanked Jesse Eisenberg's sister for recommending him. And it was obvious she recommended him because he is exactly like that. So yeah, see that movie. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's really down to earth. Don't expect a lot of exciting things to happen. It's just very character driven.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so the next one that won in the order in the SAG Awards was Actress in a Series, which is Shogun. I did not see Shogun, and I don't have a photo for Shogun, but it's Anna Sawai, and she's that beautiful young girl, and it's great. Shogun has been just every year. Shogun wins. Fucking,
Wow.
it is like
I've never even
just
heard of
huge
it.
production. Do you remember the Shogun with Richard Chamberlain when you were younger? Do you remember that?
Kind
Richard
of.
Chamberlain.
No,
Now they redid it so that not all white people are playing the non-white parts.
interesting.
So yeah, so that wins a lot. Then the actor in a series was also Shogun. The female comedy in a series was Jean Smart. Do you guys like Jean Smart? She rocks in Hackers. And I do not watch Hackers, but I wish I did.
I'm so out of the loop, Lisa. I'm out of the loop.
I think Hackers, the reason I don't watch Hackers, which is really tough when something is on HBO, because I don't have HBO. So I don't get to see that one. But I do see Only Murders in the Building. I watched that. That's on Hulu. And Martin Short won male actor for comedy series.
Oh.
And they all talk in this, man. Selena's really cute in it. Who doesn't love Martin, right? I love Steve Martin and Martin Short. And together, they rock. So, and they always have really great guest stars on that. You should watch that, Gary. Do you have Hulu?
I don't
like it.
Like I said, I really don't watch any TV. I don't go to the movies. I do watch Netflix, though. I watch Netflix. There's a few programs. I love the documentary.
There are some things I would recommend for you on Netflix for sure.
But I love Martin Short. I go all the way back with him. I mean, I used to watch him in the late 70s. After Saturday Night Live, we would watch Second City Television. Before it was even popular, people really didn't even know about it that much. And I just loved it. The characters that he played on Second City TV, Jackie Rogers Jr., freaking, oh my God, just love him to death.
Yeah, I love them. So that is, I thumbs up on that series. Watch that series. It's really cute.
So what's this Only Murders in the Building? What's the premise?
So they all live in New York in this old, expensive, posh building. And so they've had two seasons. And I don't want to give it away. It's about the first season. There's a murder in the building, and then these guys don't really know each other, so they all get together and they have this murder podcast. And then there's another murder in the second season that comes up, but it's like a kind of an over the top comedy. Yeah.
Well, you got some cool people hanging out with us in the chat room. I see Allie Patches in the house.
Hi, Allie.
Rich New Design.
Hi, Rich.
Cool. Seven
Thank
Dust.
you guys for being here.
The Art of Floundering is here hanging out with us.
Has anyone seen any of these movies we're talking about?
I haven't seen any of them myself.
Chime in if you have, please.
Yeah,
So the next one in the line was female actor in a comedy series, and that's Jessica Gunning in Baby Reindeer. I don't have a picture of that either because I don't watch it, so I can't really talk about it, but it looks fucking over the top hilarious. It's about a stand-up comedian who is kind of crazy in his own self, but then he gets a stalker who won't leave him alone. It's a true story. Wow. He wrote it, a true story that has happened to him. So I kind of really want to see this series. But
I like stalker movies for some reason. I don't know what it is. Say what's those ones? The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. You know those?
Oh yeah. Those are all the classics of the women stalkers. Women stalkers are the best, right? Right, Allie?
Action started it all, right? I mean, but there's more. It goes way back, right?
So here's another one on HBO that I've not seen either is The Penguin. Does anyone watch The Penguin? It looks so styled. I mean, the color and everything looks so cool. But Colin Farrell, who is cool, is a great
Is that
actor.
like the Batman penguin type thing?
Yes, it is. It is. And it's all dark and the colors are just, I mean, it looks good. It looks really good.
I dropped
Then,
off the Batman thing like probably 20 years ago. There's a zillion of them, right? There's a zillion Batmans, right?
There's a zillion. I mean, should we bring up a movie now? Okay, so I watched The Joker. Now, I watched The Joker knowing that it has already gotten the Razzie Award, the worst movie of the year. So I already knew that. So that's why I wanted to see it. I was like, Lady Gaga in the worst movie, one of the worst movies of the year? No.
Yeah.
I saw it. I see why it had problems. It was visually gorgeous, honestly. It was visually beautiful. But what they did, it was musical. And what they did was really weird. They took a bunch of old, really popular 70s songs, and that's the soundtrack. So it wasn't original music, and it was.
That kind of was attractive to me. I love 70s music.
I know, and it was all the music that we love, the Carpenters.
Yeah.
It just didn't. There was something that didn't fully do it, and so I like after I saw it, I was like, yeah, I see why people and here's how Joaquin came up with the idea was that he just dreamed it. So maybe he dreamed it, and he's like, this is amazing. So
wow, that's crazy. This whole Batman series, what is there like? You have Christian Bale, you have Ben Affleck, you have all the people that played Batman. There's like 4 or 5 of them, right?
Yeah, who else? What's his name?
It's off the top of my head.
J-Lo's Ben
Keaton?
No, Ben. I want to say Ben Affleck. Is that his name? He played him too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Yeah, but this is where the female actress. Actually, they don't call it actress anymore. They call it actor. Female actor in supporting role. That I noticed that because when I was jotting down my notes, I wrote actress, and I noticed that they called all the females female actors. And in my business, it's kind of funny. I don't give a shit what people call me, actor, actress. I don't care. Yeah. But I have talked to some female actresses, and I've called them an actress, and they're like, I am not an actress. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I'm like, oopsie, sorry. But this is the movie that I saw that I can talk about. Amelia Perez. So Zoe Saldana won Female Actor in a Supporting Role in Motion Picture. I love this movie. This is the best movie. Amelia Perez. Now, the reason I say this is because I don't really love musicals. And I heard about this movie, and I want to see it. I didn't even know it was a musical. So I'm watching this movie, and I'm watching it, and it starts in the singing. Huh?
It's a musical?
Yeah, it's a musical. And they start in the singing, and I was like, and about halfway through, I loved it. And the one thing is, musicals always take me out of the storyline. I was never taken out of the storyline in this. Everyone was so good in this film. Wow. I loved it. I mean, I highly recommend this film.
Without giving it away, I mean, just what was the premise? Is it like boy meets girl, boy loses girl?
No, the premise is basically Well, it's set. The premise is the Mexican cartel,
Okay. So it's the Mexican
and
music.
here it is. Here. It's all about set in the Mexican cartel, and this is what it's about. If you are stuck in a place where you can't be a good person, what do you have to do to get out of that place so that you can become who you want to be? That's what it's about without giving it away. So it's really good. But the so interesting because Carla, Carla Gascon, she's trans. That gives it away. But she was so inspiring. She won a Golden Globe. I think it was a Golden Globe she won. And she got up there in her Buddhist outfit. And she was like, she said what I said. Everyone needs to do whatever they have to do to be who they are so that they can be the best person that they are. Right. And I think she inspired a lot of people, right? So a lot of people, Carla Gascon looked into her and stuff. And that screwed her up. Screwed her up, man. So big controversy. People unearthed all of her negative comments and posts that she made. They're really elitist. They're really racist. And she's been kind of banned. She wasn't even at the SAG Awards.
Who's that?
She's Carla Gascon, who played the lead in Amelia Perez. She played the lead. And she wasn't even there because she has so much bad publicity now. Basically, she was sued. So, I mean, in a weird way. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, that was interesting. But that is a great film. It's done by a French guy.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, I don't
want to
get off on a tangent, but
yes,
the actresses are here to entertain us. Sometimes when they start getting doing things that are up and beyond that, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, just stick with acting, Anyway, that's unfortunate that she got in a bunch of trouble. I don't even know who it is. But.
Yes, because I was super inspired. I was like, oh my God, she's going to be such a cool person. And it's kind of heartbreaking when you're like, oh my God, this person's going to be so inspiring. And then they turn out to be just super shitty.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to it. But,
for me personally, when I think of movies, man, I have my favorites, my all time, and usually most of them are films from like a long time ago, where you're like, "Wow, that was awesome." That. Like, have you ever heard of a movie called The Cincinnati Kid with Steve McQueen? I mean, with Paul Newman. It's called The Cincinnati Kid. It's got Anne Margaret, Carl Malden. Cecil B. DeMille. Oh my God, it's just like one of my favorite movies of all time because the acting, it's like a card movie. It's like set in like the 30s Depression area, and they played this game called Cincinnati. It was a card game that they played. It was really hard to cheat, and all these underground games, and just, man, when you actually look at the storyline, they don't rely on CG. They don't rely on sex and violence. They rely on just good old-fashioned acting, and I love that.
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of out of the loop, because like I said, if I do go to Netflix, I just watch the reality stuff and the documentaries.
Right. You know what, Gary, I would recommend, but I don't think you have Apple TV, but you would love, if you see something and it's from a novel, it's usually really good. This is from a novel. It's called Disclaimer, and it's Kate Blanchett, and she is she rocks in everything she does.
Yeah.
She was up for, she just didn't win it, but she was up for leading lady in a limited mini series. Disclaimer. Oh my God, that's exactly what you're talking about. The writing is so good. The writing is so good with that. Yeah.
You know, and then there's the movies too where they just really freak you out, where it just leaves an impression on you. Like, still to this day, I can't watch The Exorcist by myself. You know what I mean? You get up, you lock the door, you're like,
Yes, it's just that I know.
you know what I mean? It's so good. It's so freaky.
So good. So good.
What type of movies are
Well,
you know?
this is the first year that I think ever that the female actor in the leading film role was from a horror movie. I mean, that just blew me away. It's The Substance. And I have like 4 or 5 pictures from The Substance because it's my favorite. I mean, my 2 favorites are Amelia Perez and The Substance. Demi Moore. Demi Moore.
I love
Demi
it.
Moore won the award for the best female actor. And this movie is a horror movie. It's a horror. It's a low budget horror movie.
Oh my God, I love it.
But it's psychological. So when you see it, don't expect to see like, you know, a lot of crazy horror scenes. It's more psychological.
Yeah.
But it's about Hollywood. So it rocks. It's about age. It's about you know, a woman dealing with getting older
Wow.
in Hollywood.
That's
And you know,
yeah.
getting left behind.
I think the last like super corporate mainstream thing that she played in was like Charlie's Angels or something. And that was a big comeback for her because I think she got kind of banished out of Hollywood or something. I'm not sure, but I remember hearing something about that. To hear her come back and get an award, that's pretty cool.
What happened was she married Ashton Kutcher, right? And you know, she drank. She, you know, her and Ashton, they tried to have a baby, and she had a miscarriage. She was 6 months pregnant, lost the baby, and she just had a lot of problems. And then she got heavily into drugs, and they broke up. He cheated on her. Do you remember that? And that was embarrassing for her because she was always. That's when she was going on line all the time. I think it was YouTube. I can't remember, but she would always like do like these lingerie stuff, and she would always be like, "This is what Ashton gets to screw every night."
Oh my God.
It was all, but she wasn't thinking.
She was
right.
airing it out.
What?
She was
Yeah, I mean,
the internet.
yeah, you don't remember that? All that? Her and oh yeah, oh my God, that was like so long. And then so when they got a divorce, she kept partying, but then she almost died because she was having a party and she did whippets. She was doing wine. She was doing like 12 Vicodin a day, and she almost died. She passed out. They had to take her to the emergency, and she cleaned up. And you know, it's so great to see somebody come back, right?
Yeah.
So now she won this award, and I think she's 62.
Wow.
Echo, how old is Demi Moore? Demi Moore is 62.
Is that Alexia?
Yeah.
Glad she's here with us.
So if you need to ask her anything, she can help us.
I like Debbie Moore. One of the reasons too is because I don't know that much about this and that, but I did watch, and I know that she treats her ex-husband Bruce Willis, who's suffering from dementia. She treats him really, really well. They got a good relation. She's really compassionate towards that. And I saw her. They were roasting him before it got real bad, and she came on the roast, and you could tell that they still. It's not that they love each other, but they have respect for each other.
Absolutely.
But she was roasting them, and you could just tell that
they have a good relationship.
She was a cool person. They're down to earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was really good to see that. The Room is my favorite movie. The Room. You mean The Room that was voted the worst film ever made?
Really? And she's in
Yeah.
it?
No, she's not in that, but I'm just looking at the Art of Floundering podcast, and
Oh,
he said, and
let me get over
but,
there.
but the room is interesting because I'll tell you why the room is interesting, because they James Franco made I can't remember what year, The Disaster Artist, about the room. And I remember when that guy who made The Room, he was trying to get that movie um, out everywhere. I remember he was renting out. He's rich. He was renting out all the little spaces and trying to get people to go to that movie. It was the worst movie ever made.
Wow.
But the Disaster Artist. So James Franco makes The Disaster Artist, and he's booming. He got the Golden Globe too, I think, and he's ready to set up to get the Oscar. And he was Me Too'd.
Wow.
He was teaching at the acting school that I went to, which is called Playhouse West, and he was, sleeping with all the women, and he would be like, "Okay, this is a orgy scene. We all have to really do it." And I mean, they were doing some bad stuff there.
Yeah.
So he was called out, and he was dropped. He didn't get the Oscar. It was just like Carla Gascon, exactly the same thing. So that's kind of an interesting, yeah.
Look, Rich New Design says Val Kilmer, and I got to tell you, I love Val Kilmer so much because
he was probably the sexiest.
He can do so much, man. He plays Jim Morrison. He plays Doc Holliday, and just to be an actor to go from Jim Morrison to Doc Holliday and nail it. And the list goes on and on and on. And what's so unfortunate, it broke my heart the other day because I'd never knew it, but he's not doing that good medically. Yeah, like a tracheometry or something. And
yes.
And you look at him.
He lost his voice.
He was such a beautiful man. He was such a killer actor. He was so vibrant in those roles. You're just like, wow, it's hard to see him like that. It's
right, like Christopher Reeves and What Happened. They have a documentary like in a couple days, I think, of Superman, of Christopher Reeves. I think it's on CNN. But has anyone seen The Complete Unknown? Because that's about Bob Dylan and Timothy.
I haven't seen that yet.
Chalamet. He won the Best Actor.
Oh, you won an award for it, huh?
Yeah, so that's all for him. Yeah, he won the Best Actor for this movie right here. And when he gave his speech, he said that this took up 5 years of his life. So I don't know if it took a long time to film, or I'm not sure what he meant by that. But
where is that?
Dedication.
Can you watch that on Netflix, or where do you watch something like that?
I'm not sure. I have a feeling that A Complete Unknown is still in the movie theaters. I think that one is still in the movie theaters. And that's also the weird thing, is that some movies you can see now, some you can't. It's weird.
Hey, I got a question for you. I haven't done it yet, but my brother tells me about it all the time. He says it's awesome. I guess they have these movie theaters now where you go in, you get a recliner, a waiter comes up and takes your order or something like that, or you type it in.
You can have drinks, cocktails.
Yeah, he says it's really expensive though. He goes, you go there, it's like $100 or $200 easily. I
didn't know it was that expensive, but it could be
like a steak dinner and meals and
exactly. See, that's like a fancy, yeah. Yep.
You done that at all?
Only one time with Dina. Remember Dina? Yes. On my birthday, she took me to one, and we had cocktails, and I felt weird, like getting really slammed at a movie theater. But of course, smoking is more my thing. I would rather like smoke and watch a movie. But yeah, I've done it. It's kind of weird. Yeah, and you know, I think they're just trying to do everything they can to get people back to the fucking movies, you know.
Yeah, and you know what too is
They're doing what they can to get people to the movies, you know.
in the theaters. Yeah, and the drive-ins. I haven't been to the drive-ins in a long time, but
You guys, do we have drive-ins
like
still?
that little speaker, and you hung it in your window. Remember that?
Yeah, they brought it back during COVID. Do you remember that? We had some, and it was like, I mean, it was really kind of special. But I think they closed them down.
Yeah.
Because they were not at venues where they were always, you know, they were at weird venues. They were pulling into like
Me and Natasha, 25 years ago, me and Natasha would go to the drive-ins, and I have like one of those you know, Ram F-150 gigantic trucks. It's real high.
Oh yeah.
And I'd put a queen size mattress in the back bed, and I'd back up, and we'd be in there on a queen size mattress in the back of my truck with just tons of pillows and our own popcorn, and we'd go to the drive-in.
That's
People that are backed in with their truck.
Yes. Yeah, we did everything at the
Love
drive-in.
going to the drive-ins, man. We used to go. We used to party in the 70s. The drive-ins was like the funnest thing to do, you know.
It wasn't just the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, but then, you know, I don't know. When did I think it's about the 90s that they got rid of them.
So
Early 90s.
So this complete unknown, it's just pretty much like what, just the Bob Dylan story, basically, right?
Right. It's Bob Dylan's biography. It starts when he hasn't made it yet, and it.
How old is he now? Ask Alexia how old he is.
Who?
Alexia.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah,
Echo. How old is Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan is 83 years old.
He's 83.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is another one that I definitely want to see. The Complete Unknown. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Here's another one that I also want to see because I love her. Is she was up for a female actress and she didn't get it, but it was so fun that Demi Moore was up for it and Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson was up for Best Actress for Showgirl. And I really want to see Showgirl too, but that's still in the movie theater. And that's about a showgirl. You know, that's about Vegas. That's about how they're closing all the big shows. And she's a showgirl losing her job. It looks good. Looks good. So, and you know, I love Pamela Anderson. So she's on this kit. You know about this character? Do you know about her kit that she's on now that she never wears makeup?
I watched that.
Yeah. So she looks beautiful without it, but yeah, that's her thing now.
I think she looks absolutely gorgeous as she's aging. She doesn't need any makeup. She's gorgeous, man. And that's I like that for some reason. I mean, look, anyone can do whatever they want to make themselves look good. I'm into that. But
Yeah,
like Natasha doesn't even wear makeup. I don't think she's.
I know what she looks.
Ever.
Right.
You know.
That's what I love. I love everybody doing their own thing because you know I love that Pamela's doing that. I mean, at the same time, I love Dolly Parton. I love her.
Fuck, how old is she? Jesus.
Echo, how old is Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton is 77 years old. She was born on January 19th, 1946.
She.
In Center, Tennessee.
77?
Yep, she's 77.
Well, she's still got some kick in her. I thought she was probably a little older. I thought she would be a little older, but yeah.
Have you seen her outfits? She has the best body. And Jane Fonda has the best body too. And you know, so speaking of Jane Fonda, during the SAG Awards, Jane Fonda was so inspiring. She won a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. I love
And Gary and I, we tried to download her speech because I wanted to play it because it brought me to tears, to be honest with you. But she was just talking about how we all need to, rise up. And she said, and by the way, that just means we care about one another. She just rocked her speech, man. Look it up.
I'm a big Jane Fonda fan because, for starters, we all know that she comes from that Hollywood family bloodline, but she's in the beginning, and when you watch these movies that she's in from like the 60s and stuff, right? Awesome acting. She's really, really good. And her life was such a killer life. She's what, 87. She's gone through all these different phases where she's, taking drugs, smoking weed, activist for, civil rights, to, hey, I partied real hard. It's time to get healthy and exercise. She went through all these different phases, and I think she's just a beautiful person. I really do. I love her.
Right. Her, if there's anything, and it's so interesting, she's kind of responsible for us getting the VCR too, because of all her tapes. She promoted that. But I think her, the bruise on her is just when she was doing her activism, is when she went to Vietnam and she sat on a commie tank. And then she went to the prisons, and she went to the prisons, and there were some men who handed her notes, and she handed them to the communists.
That she spent a life.
And they really got down for her for a long time, and I even was kind of bummed about that. But people make mistakes. And we make mistakes,
Everyone does. Yeah. I mean,
when you say you're sorry, or you see that it was, that's what if Carla Gascon did that, I think people would have been softer, but she like doubled, tripled down with what she said. And it was like, oh gosh. Yeah. It's
no doubt that she definitely lived a life of always trying to stand up for the right cause,
Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
and that's important. That's, a big thing.
And then her films too, her and her brother and her dad had such awesome films. Who can ever forget Easy Rider? Her brother with Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper and Jack Nicholson. Great movie.
Yeah.
Movie. He's like, hey man, we're eating their food. But you know who my favorite actor is of all time? Take a guess. Take a guess. No, you don't have to take a guess. There's so many. I was like a needle in a haystack, huh? My favorite actor is a guy named Tom Berenger. I think he is incredible because, listen, not only is he Barnes in a World War II movie, he's this character Barnes in Platoon, okay?
God, I wish we could pull up a picture because I think I know who you're talking about.
And then he was also the piano man in Eddie and the Cruisers. He played the keyboards, okay? He's a keyboard player in the movie Eddie and the Cruisers. He was the catcher in a movie called Major League. Tom Berenger is...
Listen, now Tom Berenger's not the one who went out with Heidi Fleiss, is it?
Is what?
Does anybody know? Is Tom Berenger the dude who went out with Heidi Fleiss?
I'm not sure. I just know his movies. The point I think what I'm trying to make is, because I don't think you've seen too many of those films, is like you talked about earlier, where he plays one character and then he's over here playing another character that's just completely fucking.
He's a method actor.
Into it. you
Yeah.
wouldn't even know it. You would be like, wow, really? Okay, he plays that and that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Major
Yeah.
League is like a baseball movie about the Cleveland Indians with Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, uh, Wesley Snipes. It's a baseball movie.
I mean, I was just like, it's interesting how we can actually watch what happened to all these people's lives. You know, I mean, Charlie Sheen, he's kind of sick right now. He has AIDS.
Well, it's weird too. You notice how like a lot of them will get into the buzz where they always kind of play in each other's movies. Because look, Charlie Sheen and Tom Berenger both played in Major League, which was a huge hit. They both played in Platoon, which was directed by Martin Scorsese.
Huge.
Platoon won tons of awards. So yeah, it's weird how you kind of, you know, see like the same people, you know, in movies. You're always going to get the same little clique of people, you know.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Some people are just what?
Western movies.
Yeah, Westerns are not really my favorite.
Yeah. There's a lot of
What's
cool.
your favorite Western? Are they your favorite?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that's I mean classic.
Yeah. You know, the music soundtrack and there's something about
my favorite bad guys in that.
There's something for me as a young male growing up in the 70s and maybe early 80s. It's bizarre how it sounds. You could always, now you can find them anywhere, but back then you can only find a good old school cowboy movie on a Saturday afternoon. Back then there was something, I guess it's a guy thing or something, I don't know, but watching an old Western on a Saturday afternoon was just like magic for a young dude growing up. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is a thing. That is a nostalgia thing that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
TV used to be different because TV used to be we had what, 5 channels, everything came on a certain. I remember my mom sent us to the Saturday matinee and we would pay with, this makes me sound really old, but I lived in a really tiny town. We would pay with Pepsi tops. And she would just leave us there all day. Like it was in the middle of the city, and we were like 5.
Yeah.
We don't do that with kids anymore, but
I think it was around 1978 or 79 is when the transition really took place, because back then, you had the TV, you had the rabbit ears, you had the VHF, the UHF. You get 3 or 4 channels here, then you switch it over to UHF and you get like channel 20 and 36 and 44, and you watch the Flintstones. And it was about 1978. All of a sudden, the cable companies started coming out and they gave you this little box. It was an A-B switch. Remember that? You switch it over to A or B, and that's how you got more channels. You're on A, and then you get more channels. You switch the box over to B, and you get more channels. And then that was like the very first one. And you got to remember, I'm in the 9th grade at that point, smoking weed. So I saw when the whole transition come to go from that A-B box. The next one was you got like a little box, and then it, you have the different channels that you click through. That was the start of it. Right around 1979, 1980. And the same thing with the telephone. Back then, if you wanted a phone, you called the phone company, and they came out and they installed the phone. And then right around 1980, they're like, oh, we don't do that anymore. You got to go buy your own. They were like, what? We got to go buy a phone? There's a phone company. Come put a new phone in, And that's when they started selling phones, and they started introducing, caller ID, and before if someone called, you write down a little note on a piece of paper and you'd put it in a basket.
Yeah.
It was right around that when television and phone kind of took off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And water too, because back then I remember it was like maybe 1981. They started selling bottled water. It's like, what? Water? Right? You know what I mean?
Faucet, huh?
All right. So what was after the Bob Dylan movie?
Well, the last winner was Ensemble Cast, and that's Conclave. Now, Conclave, I'm not really, I've heard it's an amazing film. It's about picking the next pope, but I'm not fully, I don't know. I might see it, but there's a lot of other films I want to see before Conclave. But it was with Isabella Rossellini, which I do love her. And yes, Tom Sizemore. Thank you. Tom Berenger is the other Tom. Because Tom Sizemore, I was like, oh yeah, he was obsessed with Heidi Fleiss, and that was a weird story. So yeah, Conclave. It was the last one that won. Yeah. And another film that I saw this year, it wasn't up for any awards, and it should not have been, but I didn't really love it, and I was excited to see it, was The Fall Guy. Did anybody see The Fall Guy? Because that's, yeah. So yeah, The Fall Guy was, it's a lot of dialogue, and it just, what that was supposed to be about, right, Gary?
Which movie are we talking about now?
Fall Guy.
Oh, The Fall Guy?
Yeah, it was based on the TV series. Now, I never saw the TV series. Did you? Fall Guy?
Oh, no, The Fall Guy TV series?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's ringing a bell. I kind of remember it. Yeah, I watched The Fall Guy. I would have to see it a little bit to just kind of bring it all back. But yeah, I watched The Fall Guy.
Who was that? Was it the $6 Million Man guy who was in Fall Guy?
No, that's Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Who married Farrah Fawcett.
Yes. I always had a crush on Farrah.
But this is, let me see if I can share this. This is Tom Berenger. Maybe this will ring a bell.
Yeah, let me see. That's your favorite actor?
Yeah. You see this dude?
Oh, yeah. He's
Tom
awesome.
Berenger. This is Barnes from Platoon. He played just so many good characters.
Platoon. That's that really good.
Eddie and the Cruisers. He was the keyboard player.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah.
I wonder how old he is. But look, there's if you've never seen Platoon, it's probably.
How old is Tom
Berenger is 75 years old.
Tom Berenger is 75 years old.
He plays in a lot of old films too. He played in this one where he was like I forget the name. It's a really famous movie. He played like a homosexual from New York or something. So his career has just been just all these different characters. And if you've never seen Platoon,
I have. It's so amazing.
It's an amazing movie, man.
Like Apocalypse. It's like you have to yeah. I think one of my favorite dudes is Matthew McConaughey.
I love Matthew McConaughey so much. I love him. From
who is the guy?
It was such a killer movie.
What movie?
Dazed and Confused.
Everything he does is killer, but yes, that was good. Great.
He was a teenager. It was his first movie. It was about a bunch of stoners graduating in 1970s Texas. It's called Dazed and Confused. Really cool movie.
So look, the Art of Floundering podcast says he highly recommends Conclave. There you go. Thank you. We're
coming up to Conclave soon, right? Did I show that?
I have a poster of Conclave. No, show it. They were cute. They all came up together because they won Best Ensemble for Conclave. So the four actors went up on the stage. Yeah, that's just it right here. Yeah.
What's this all about? Conclave.
I wish he could tell us, but it's about picking the new pope. That's what it's about. It's about picking the new pope when they have to replace the pope, and all the everything that goes on with that. And I love John Lithgow. He's great. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we have this Substance movie.
That's
a horror movie. I've never even heard of it. Is this what she won the award for?
Yes, this is what she won the award for, and it's this kind of off indie horror movie made by this woman, Coralie Fargate. Demi said this. She said it landed on her desk and she read it and she said she couldn't turn it down. This is a picture of the substance. So it's that's what it's about. It's about her trying.
Yeah, it's an epic, audacious horror masterpiece. That's what they said about it.
Yeah, so it is so interesting that she won on a horror movie. Yeah. And, Dennis Quaid. I forgot about Dennis Quaid. I love Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid is in this movie, and he rocks. And the young girl in this, I just saw her in another movie, and she's really cute. She's really good. Yeah.
That's a weird picture, huh?
Yeah, it's a weird picture. Again, when you go to see this movie, just know that it is an independent film. Because I was kind of expecting horror, crazy, but the scenes are kind of limited. The sets are kind of limited.
What's the definition of an independent film? What does that mean? It's not bankrolled by corporate people?
Yeah, and kind of when I think of an indie film, definitely it's independently. It doesn't have a lot of money, so it doesn't have any big special effects. It doesn't have a lot of
funding.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the things that kind of didn't appeal to me as far as like mainstream films, where I dropped off completely. That's probably why I've never really seen a lot of these, because I just the CGI and I never felt there was good quality films, man.
The most interesting thing is Hollywood is kind of favoring the independent films. And you could really see that in the winners in this, because they were all kind of independent films. I mean, who was snubbed? Angelina Jolie. Hers was independent though, but in Maria. And Gladiator, which was not independent, was snubbed.
Right.
And that's Washington. He was pretty much snubbed. And really favoring the independent films.
Yeah.
Real Pain, Emilia Perez, Showgirl, and The Substance with Demi Moore. This is going to be, I personally think this is going to be Demi's big comeback. I do. I think we're going to be seeing her more, and I think, she was really fragile and emotional in her speech. And at the end, she just, it was really funny. The Sega word must be really flipping heavy, because every single person was like, "Oh, this is heavy." Yeah. But at the last, she looked at it and she was just like, she kind of was a loss for words, and she was like, the little girl inside of me thanks you. And she was misty-eyed. So, it meant a lot to her. And I think it's going to bring her back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Lee Majors was in The Fall Guy. That's got
yes, that's what I thought it was, Lee Majors.
I remember
You were
it. And I think he had Heather Locklear was like his little
yes,
female.
So the film is different than a little bit different than that setup. But what is the guy in the film and the guy in Barbie? Ryan Reynolds or no, Ryan? Yeah, Ryan Gosling or Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is so great, and he's just coming out of Barbie, and then he did Fall Guy.
Yeah, see, I liked that movie, The Notebook, because it was good writing, it was good acting. You fell in love with these characters, Noah and Allie. See, when you can recite something without, it's not like I'm looking at anything or looking at notes or anything. I'm just going, we're just ad-libbing. We're going, you remember characters, you know that those actors did something right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And those are the type of movies I like where there's not some type of religious or political message that they're trying to use that movie as a vehicle for. See what I'm saying?
So you like films that are like more like about a slice of life every day?
Or just, yeah, that is someone's imagination, and then they've said, hey, I'm going to make this film, like, and that's usually the older ones. Like, you ever see that movie with James Caan when he was really young? It was called it's like from the 50s or something, called Lady in a Cage. You ever seen that?
No.
Where it's like a real highbrow area in Hollywood, and she's an old actress, and she's paralyzed. She's in a wheelchair, but she has this elevator that takes her to the different floors in her house. And one day she was stuck in it, so she hits the alarm, and the alarm goes off on the outside of her house for help. But a bunch of low-life thugs show up and abuse her, and it's got a great and live in her house, and they take a bath, dysfunctional shit, but the point is, it's just a fucking old movie. It's just the killerest acting and the killerest story. That's the kind of shit I miss, you know what I mean? So when you go to this stuff where like these movies where there's always just like I was saying, where there's like a political message or a religious message, you're just like, oh man, is this an infomercial or is this a movie? Like,
yeah.
I'm not bagging on any one religion, but I'm just saying, like 2012, Noah's Ark. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they're really slighted conservative,
they all got CGI in it, and it's just like, you're just like, man, can I just go get a movie that's got a cool storyline?
Well, you know what? The Old Man on Hulu, I highly recommend that too. Who is the guy who plays the dude? He's in The Old Man, and it's so good. It's like that kind of espionage, government,
Yeah.
Echo, who played the dude? The dude is played by Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges. Yeah. Remember we had a scene and we were talking about Jeff Bridges, Gary?
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges. I love Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges in The Old Man. That is a good series, and that's on Hulu.
I think because we can all relate to the character of the dude, right?
Huh?
You know what I mean? We can all relate to that type of character. He's having smoking some weed. The dude.
He's that's great.
Like that. You know what I mean? I got like 3 or 4 friends that are just like the dude,
Yeah.
But hands down, one of the greatest two movies of all time, Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2.
So funny. I don't think I
They're
saw
so
this.
funny. It's unbelievable, dude. It's just
So
like,
funny. So you like Jim Carrey, right?
well, I mean, it's just more of the writing. The acting is good, but the writing is just side splitting.
I like Jim Carrey.
You
He's
know,
such a different person now.
they want to open up an ant farm store. It's like, wow, that's not a good idea. You know what I mean? So it just goes on and on, you know. When they find the suitcase and they think the person's name's Samson, but it's the name of the luggage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are so classic. You know, here's a musical that I do love, is Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah, I did it. You know.
So I mean, it just like can just be funny now, and it spans all these years. You know, it holds up.
Yeah, because that was the entertainment back then. In the sense that when we talked about, hey, there's only 3 channels on the television at 79, 80, you know, there used to be these places. You remember these? It spilled into the 80s and 90s a little bit, but it was really big in the late 70s where you went to these midnight stuff where whether they were showing Three Stooges or they were showing bizarre movies or they were doing the Rocky Horror. And the people were really down front acting it out. And
everybody got together in a group and did things. Even when we watched TV, we all were watching it together because we knew that. We were all watching The Cosby Show, or we were all watching, you know, whatever, Family Ties, or whatever it was. You know, we're all watching it together, you know. And that's what's so different now is, you know.
Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin song remains the same. You go and you sit, and they put it on the thing with lasers, and you know that a lot of that stuff doesn't exist. And you think about it, man, the stuff they could do nowadays. Maybe I'm out of the loop. Maybe there's stuff like that, but you actually were involved in it. You threw the rice, you threw the toilet paper. When she said Janet, everybody screamed out Janet. In the 80s and 90s, I went a couple times where no one was acting out front. No one was throwing rice and this and that. No one was. There's all kinds of stuff you need to repeat during the movie.
Yes.
And like, where's your neck and stuff like that. So to be part of that, I'm sure there's probably somewhere where you can go where they're still doing it full blown, right?
I think in Hollywood, they used to have, a couple years ago, they still had at midnight, they would do the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And everybody would do their thing. Yeah. Yeah. But COVID kind of screwed up a lot of things, honestly. You know, yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do? The world's an imperfect place. I'm going to light this joint.
I'll join you.
But like you said, too, it's nice. I think I should give these movies a try then, because that's what kind of turned me off about it. But I think there's so many alternative mediums now instead of just the corporate.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I don't think Amy's really here too much. So I have been wanting to ask you. Tell me how. So I made you watch Barbie because Barbie is a satire kind of Barbie. And what did you think? You were like pretty down on it. Was it just the commercialism of it, or what?
It's not like I didn't like the Barbie movie. I watched it, but I certainly think that things are designed for certain temperaments and certain people, man. They really know what they're doing. I mean, I think first off, it did have a good message. You know, self-empowerment. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or girl, this, that. We're all human. You should be proud of who you are, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But it's just, I don't know, maybe only watching it once, too, you know, has something to do with it. But for me, it's, I really don't the computer generated stuff just really, really gets me. And it has to be like that for that movie. So don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
Right, because it's Barbie. Although,
Right.
listen
You know
to
what I
this.
mean?
You know the beach, all the beach scene? They rented out a huge studio in the valley, and they created the whole beach inside a studio. They created that beach. But I know, like, her when she was driving and little things and stuff. This is what I like about the Barbie movie. I know that it was Margot Robbie's idea, and she went to them. So in a way, it was an independent film. It was Margot's idea. It was Margot's script. She had this other woman, I can't remember her name, Greta, directed it and helped write it. And so it was kind of exciting because it was all women's project, and Mattel let them do it. And that they put all this money. They spent like $100 million. Oh, we didn't talk about Wicked yet. They spent $100 million on Barbie, just on advertising for it. But what us actors love about that is it brought people back to the movies. It saved the industry practically, because we were coming out, doing the strike thing. But Margot Robbie, it was exciting that she did this, because what she tried to do before Barbie is she actually wrote a Harley Quinn, and she wanted to do this whole woman Harley Quinn thing. And they were like, no, they wouldn't let her do it, because they didn't want her to have control. They want to do stuff like that. So I thought it was neat that she got to do Barbie and bring Barbie to a real person. That was fun.
Yeah.
Barbie is important. And I mean, when Barbie came out, I don't know if you've seen, Gary, you're on my Facebook, but a bunch of dudes just like freaked out and were like attacking, like, Barbie is such a terrible thing. She makes women feel like they have to be skinny. When you're playing with Barbie, you're little. You have no pressure to be skinny. You don't give a crap. Number one.
They have the pressure of magazines and fucking.
We're not thinking about that.
Right.
What was exciting for us was that Barbie, for me, was that Barbie was the first doll that I didn't have to take care of. Barbie had boobs. She was an adult. Barbie could have a life. All my other dolls were baby dolls. They were babies. We could just, give them a bottle. But Barbie, we could buy her a Corvette, and she could have G.I. Joe as a boyfriend. So she was exciting to us, because she allowed us girls to, be creative.
I can imagine it. And my take on it is that I thought it was innovative. I thought it was pretty cool, because they tried blending these different mediums and stuff. And then also too, it's got to be it's appealing, because for people that, like, if I grew up and I was a girl that played with dolls and Barbies, I would love it. I'd be like, oh, finally they made a Barbie. Let's go.
That's how we felt. Yeah.
Like, a movie about, like Rounders. You ever seen that? With Matt Damon. Rounders, are the card players.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Okay. I know of it.
My point is, that's where I'm like, hey, I want to go see that. See, so I bet Barbie was kind of cool, but then there's probably some of the Barbie community that are like, well, I don't like the way they did it, but I thought it was cool. I thought that
they did have to be careful.
It hold my attention, because I'm not in the CGI. I didn't grow up using Barbies and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
What kept me in it was just to see what they were doing, and then it was actually kind of cool how she went from the Barbie land, right, to like the real world. So that was kind of cool. Kind of borrowed into that a little bit,
Yeah. And I like the actors. I like her, actually. I like her a lot. I like Ryan Gosling. He was adorable as Ken.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you gotta love Will Ferrell. So how could you not like Will Ferrell? He's played so many goofy characters, you know.
Yeah.
There's all, I am Dr. Rick Marshall. You are Chaka. I am smarter than you. Lost in, what's that movie? Lost in the river raft. They go down the river.
Oh.
He's Dr. Rick Marshall, and there's Chaka, the little monkey, and I forget. It was an old,
I don't know.
one of his best movies, man. But you know what movie that I want you to watch? I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's probably the greatest movie ever, at least for me. See, that's the thing too, because I think you and I are, you know, like I'm into like a lot of the male stuff. You're into a lot of the, you know what I mean? I'm into the cards, horse racing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A movie called Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. It is hilarious. It's called Deuce Bigelow.
That's not Ben Stiller, is it?
No, Ben Stiller's on.
Is that Andrew Dice Clay? No. Who is it?
I'm not sure. But speaking of Ben Stiller, man, his stuff is crazy, isn't it? My favorite is The Heartbreak Kid. You ever seen that?
Oh my God!
See, that one just, oh my God!
See, we're so funny. Is that you've seen a lot of these older, like really funny, good.
The actress, I forget her name, but she's been in all kinds of shit. She's fucking awesome, man. She's all. But the premise basically is he's just a kind of goofy little dude, lives in San Francisco, owns a sporting goods store, always trying to find love, meets this girl, everything's perfect. For weeks, they just fall in love and they do all the cliche stuff and they laugh and they're together and they're so happy. And now they're going to go down to Cabo San Lucas. So they drive down there and now she's actually just completely fucking psycho.
Crazy.
All her shit starts unsurfacing. She's got a deviated septum, you know, and she's got like shit coming out her nose as they're eating. And then what else? She's all, you know, and at first it was all like PG and vanilla. And then she's like turning into a total tyrant. And then she's like, well, I still got to pay off the $50,000. And he's like, $50,000? What? You know, because they're getting planned to get married, right? Yeah. So I told you about my cocaine addiction and how I owe, you know. And then when they finally make love, you know, he wanted it all special with candles. And she was with like gangbangers and owned all kinds of money. And she's like, you want to pile drive? And just, anyway, you've got to see it. It's called The Heartbreak Kid, man. And who else is in it? Megan McConaughey. I love her. You know Megan McConaughey? Megan McConaughey. Yeah. Megan McConaughey.
No, I can't picture who that is. No. If you wouldn't tell me who the girl, the lead is, I probably wouldn't know what.
But they get down there, she gets sunburned, and it's just a cool movie, man. And he meets the different girl down there, and anyway, man, these movies, I'd say up to the 90s, I was watched them all. I could recite. You could name a movie, and I could recite shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. You know, this is one movie that never rom-coms. I really never liked them. Romantic comedies. I really haven't watched very many of them.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah. There's a slew of them. And they all started with, it all started a long time ago, but like Sleepless in Seattle, right? That kind of shit.
Meg Ryan. Yeah.
Right.
See, I don't really watch shows like that. But what
Right.
is your favorite? What is your favorite horror movie?
Horror movie is there's a fine line for me with horror movie. To me, there's horror movie where you're scared because you're scared, but the slasher movie stuff, I'm not into that at all. I'm not into like pretending to stab people, kill people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But horror is different. Like we talked about The Exorcist.
Like suspense. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
So
right. Like I think my favorite is Angel Heart. Have you seen that one? With Lisa Bonet and Mickey Rourke.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Gary, you gotta see that one. That is your kind of horror movie. It's smart. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's Mickey Rourke is the main character, and he's
love
trying to figure out who he is.
Right.
Good.
But good horror is good horror. Like the very first Hellraiser. Remember that?
Oh, that's
like
he's scary.
Weird stuff like that,
I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, I did think that was good. That was scary. That really scared me. Getting you in your dreams.
Right, because because of the vehicle that they used to present the movie was a trip. You know what I mean? Where you have to be dreaming, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. And he was
creative.
Yeah.
But like I said, mainly for me, I like drama. I like acting. I like fucking Bogart, Katharine Hepburn. Was that movie?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, but Casablanca.
Yeah.
Oh man, the acting! You got the Germans coming in singing their anthem, and they're all existing with each other in Casablanca, but then they all go off and kill each other and hate each other.
Yeah. Since you watch these kind of movies, let me ask you this, because this is the first movie I saw like that when I was younger, and I was just blown away, and it was way too up here for me, but it was called Whatever Happened to Sweet Baby Jane.
Love it. Yeah. And her sister, right? Yeah, and she's like, Baby Jane.
It's only those two. It's only Betty Davis and Joan, and it blew me away. I was like, whoa.
Absolutely, one of my favorite movies. That's what I mean. And then, like we were talking about earlier too, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Yes. I mean, Elizabeth and Robert Burton and
Taylor.
The entire time interacting and acting like a real couple, like they were, but within these characters.
Yeah.
And then and then the other only two people, there's only 4 people in the movie. The other 2 were George Segal, and I forget her name. But it was just bizarre. Fucking one of the greatest movies, that you watch. You're just like, there's a bunch of movies like that, I think, too, where there's only so many people in the cast, right? 3 people or 2. See, some is just 2 people. That's hard to do.
Here is someone I do love too. I don't know his person, but I love his work. Jack Nicholson. And I loved his work in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, absolutely.
What was that character's name? I think it was Howard P. McMurphy. Howard P. McMurphy. That was such a good film. I loved that Indian guy. I wish I could remember his name. He was amazing.
Yeah, when you buy into the characters like that wholeheartedly is when that they're doing the right thing, because you're buying into it totally. You're just like, wow. You feel for these characters. You see it, and then it's just so real. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me ask you this, Gary. Have you seen the movie Network? It's that old...
1976, Faye Dunaway, right?
Yes. What do you think?
I don't
That
know.
guy was named Howard Beals. I remember that. His character was the one who said, "I'm as mad as hell," or shout from your windows. "I'm as mad as hell. I can't take it anymore." Remember?
Yeah, I mean, it had the good punchline there, but for me, it was a little too slow. It didn't develop quick enough for me. It was more just like, okay, kind of going through the motions,
Yeah,
Moving on.
Runaway, she was hot.
Yeah.
She was great. Chinatown. Yeah.
Watching older movies for me, like I said, I kind of the same way with music too. After like right around the 2000s, I couldn't tell you, Lisa, Drake, this, that, Taylor Swift, all those people. There's a zillion of them. I couldn't even tell you one fucking song. Okay. Seriously, on the top Billboard 100. Nija, Nicki Minaj, this and that, and Bruno Mars. I don't know. What I'm saying is I can't recall and sing one song. But
Right.
up until like the late 90s, okay, I can tell you the Billboard top 100 for every fucking year.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but just with film and music, I kind of dropped off in the 2000s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And it's also, with along with film, like same thing. We have so much of it. It's just so much now.
Yeah.
So much. So, you have so much to choose from.
And then this whole reality thing kind of came into play, about 20 years ago, right? Right, reality TV and acting, or if you want to call it acting, right?
We got reality shows because of the strike a long time ago. Yeah, we had a strike, and then they were like, what are we going to do? Let's find unscripted material. And it just hit, And, yeah. And people just love that whole voyeur thing. We haven't gotten rid of it. We still haven't gotten rid of it. We still have reality shows all the time.
And let's not forget I'm old school. So daytime drama, I don't know if you were into that in the 70s, but that was all the rage.
You mean like soap operas?
Soaps.
Yeah.
Like it was, and even though I haven't watched it in probably 20 or 30 years, okay, I can still remember. It was One Life to Live, All My Children for an hour, and then it went to One Life to Live, and then it went to General Hospital.
Yeah.
Luke
and then there was Young and the Restless. Remember that? Young and the Restless?
The what?
Young and the Restless.
I didn't do the Young and the Restless. I did the ABC, because the different channels, it was ABC, NBC, CBS, they all had their different versions, right?
Yeah. They all had their own.
Weird, you know what I mean? And then the nighttime took it over. Remember with the Dallas and
Dynasty
and
yeah.
And I think what pioneered all that was the Thornbirds and Roots in the late 70s. They were the first ones where, because I remember it specifically because when it came out, I'm in the 6th, 7th grade, so I'm pretty much together. I'm smoking weed. I'm trying to figure shit out, right? And that was the first one where it was just like episode 1, and then next week episode 2, like these mini series started.
Yes. No. Yeah. You're right.
And then they were like the two model. The Thornbirds was with Richard Chamberlain, where he was like
yeah, I remember. They also had another one.
It was kind of sick when you think about it. It was like a priest that fell in love with it,
Yeah.
That spilled into, did you watch any of those Passions? Remember that? It was
no.
Soap opera. They had a couple of these parody soap operas. Passions, Soap.
Soap is, yes. I used to, this is so weird. I used to, when I was in college, we would get together and watch reruns of that, of Soap, and we would all get high. It was so funny. I don't know why we did that. But
All right.
yeah.
Time for the big guns. Now, let's talk about Disney. Wicked.
Yeah, Wicked. I have not seen it, and I'm so excited to see
I haven't seen it. What's weird is I heard about it, but I have no idea what it's even. I mean,
Yeah. It's supposed to be before, it's the witches before the Wizard of Oz, and how they
wait. Let me get
how
this.
they became who they are. And
it's about the witches before the Wizard of Oz, like the good witch and the bad witch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they went to witch school together, and I don't know. It's the story of how they separated and how she became green, because she wasn't always green.
Wow, and they probably have like names for them, right?
Yes, they have names for sure. Yeah, I can't remember their names, but it looks beautiful. I'm really excited to see that. Yeah, I mean, listen, remember we were talking about Barbie, and they gave the commercial $100 million on commercials. Wicked was $150 million on advertisements alone.
Wow. Well, I gotta tell you, seriously, this is all completely new to me. I'm glad I just found this out, because even how I didn't play with Barbie, so I don't gonna go relate to the Barbie movie too much.
Right.
I love the Wizard of Oz, so I'm gonna completely relate to this. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is from the Broadway musical. That was so big that I never got to see that. I always wanted to see, so now I can just watch the film.
Wow, so that's
and
I like the backstory of the witches.
Yeah, it's the backstory of the witches. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. I wonder where you can watch it at.
Yeah, it's at the movie theater still. No, you can rent it. You can pay $20 and rent it right now on.
So if you have like Dish TV or something.
I don't remember which one you can rent it on. Maybe Hulu. I can't remember. But yeah, you can rent it right now for like $20, whatever.
Yeah. How cool is that? That's cool.
Still cheaper. What?
That's really cool premise.
Yeah, I heard Cynthia's voice. Have you heard her sing? She has a beautiful voice. Her name is Cynthia. That's Ariana Grande and Cynthia. I don't remember her last name. But
Ariana Grande plays one of the witches.
Yeah, that's Ariana.
I didn't know that.
And it's really cute. I think they got along really well because they're like really close friends. So I always like to watch things when good friends do scenes together.
Yeah, she is. I can't really tell you any of her songs because I don't know any of them. But the reason why I know she has a really good voice is because I watched this one clip of her where she's singing the same style as they showed like 7 different other singers: Whitney Houston, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and she was like, it sounded just like them. She's that good.
Yeah, I love her voice.
You know what I'm saying? She could sing any other. She could sing it in the style of Adele. She could sing in the style of Celine Dion. She can. That's fucking hard to do, man. I can barely do a rusted fucking cowboy. Okay.
She has a beautiful voice, and she's from. She was a little girl actor. She was from, I think, iCarly. I think that was the one that she was from, but yeah, she's.
Here's what
she's a little actress.
I watched her brother Frankie. Okay, she has a brother named Frankie.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And he was on Big Brother about 10 years ago. And that was his thing. Hey, Granda's my sister. You know, and I know you don't do Big Brother, but Big Brother is a breeding ground for CBS for their programming. It's where they breed their actors. Because they have this one show, it's called Big Brother, where they, you know.
I don't watch it. I mean, but it has been on for a long time.
Right. What they do is they take 16 people, put them in a house, everybody voyeurism for 3 months. And the people bond with them because they are on every week, all summer long.
Yeah.
And they're they all live in the same house, and then they vote them out each week. One person has to leave. Everybody votes them out. So you can see how that'll make enemies, right? But anyway, 80% of all those people go on to play in all their shit because people already like them. See what I'm saying?
Right.
In other words, the system, whether it's movies or music, it's the same type of trip where it used to be like, oh, well, we're going to sign you. We hope everybody likes you. Well, now, no, they just have shows like The Voice or American Idol where, you know, they say, hey, out of all these people who you like the best, and then everybody likes that person because everybody voted for him to win, and that's how they get their little Carrie in the Woods, and they get their, they don't have to rely on just, I hope it works. They know it's going to work because they just made a lot of money and a lot of exposure and put a lot into this person to be the number one. But the only thing is that person is just an employee of theirs.
And now somebody can come into an agency. Oh, look how many people like me on YouTube. Look at this. Look at that. We can make our, look at Childish Gambino. Look at all these people who have actually created themselves independently and then gone and,
Yeah.
Of course they're going to pour money into that,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. An actor has to work a lot harder now in a way because there's so many people that are self-promoting.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, and that's just part of the acting and the thing. That's why I'm telling you, even though you don't know much about it, you should check it out because you would be a perfect fucking candidate. I'm telling you. I wanted to send a videotape to them of you. Remember years and years ago, I go, Lisa, man, you should get on Big Brother. Because they would, I'm telling you.
Look at me. I would be like, people would yell at me and fight with me all the time. They'd be like, Lisa, stop smoking weed.
I'm telling you.
Like, no.
The producer, I know the executive producer's name. I know her email. You email her a videotape of that you want to be on the next Big Brother. Because they have it every year. They're on, this is Big Brother 30, I think. It's been 30 years.
Nobody wants to see me on Big Brother, Gary.
No, it launches so many careers, man.
Well, I am trying to launch.
And next thing you know, you're on an episode of Jax, and you're on a fucking,
See, now I want that, but I don't know, if it's going to be starting off on Big Brother. Okay.
All right. And then you
But feel free to send me in. Feel free to submit me, Gary.
Well, no, we make a video. Hi, I'm Lisa. It's funny. That's what they do. That's why I actually like that show because they've stayed true, even though it is a lot of plants in the sense that these are all just people that want to get into business in Hollywood that are applying for it. They try to make it seem like, hi, I'm Candy and I'm from North Carolina. And, shit, like they try to get all this different diversity, but really it's just a different diversity of actors that are trying to get into business. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was an
same
experiment.
like America's Got Talent and some of those other ones. So some of those people are, they haven't hit it big yet, but they're kind of professional already. Like, the comedians, like this one comedian lady, she was on America's Got Talent. She was a working comedian already. These
Right.
people are already professionals in their sense.
Right. They bring them in like, what's your name? I'm Cindy from Missouri. Yeah.
I just I give groceries to people, but really they are.
Yeah. It's so fabricated. Everything, what you.
That's why I don't watch the reality shows, because I don't trust them.
Right, and no much how it's to me with reality. It's like, well, how much reality can it be if they know the fucking camera's on?
Well,
like or something. You know what I mean? It's like
also, once you understand it's on the network, it's a union job, which means yes, it is scripted because they have to know what these people are going to say. They can't just say whatever they want. They have to have time. It's so crafted, and it kind of bothers me.
New skeleton where like she's gonna go to his house and then he's gonna go to his house, right?
Yes, they know how you're gonna end up in this. Yeah, you can improv in between the lines.
There's mainly what got me to, because like I said, I kind of detached when I started recording all my music and started making my own videos. That's been for like the last 7 years. I've been making all this, that I have on my content, I have on my shit, right? And that's one of the reasons why I kind of dropped out from all that too, because I didn't want it to affect what I was creating. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
I mean that's very important. And I was thinking about being an artist, and I was watching Cyndi Lauper, and this is what she said, but it's, someone earlier said it. But as an artist, it's not our job to judge ourselves. Our job is to keep the creativity open and to create, and then, give it out. And it's up to the people if they like it or not. It's not up to us to judge ourselves. We need to keep creating. And that's what we all need to do, keep creating. And it's so easy to stop and judge what we do. And it was like, I can get stuck in that. And then I won't put anything out. So I'll be like, it's not good enough. It's not as good as this person over here. If we never put anything out and we always wait till we're better than that best person, we're not going to do anything. So we just have to be ourselves and just keep creating and getting better at what we do. And you're right, sometimes you don't want to be influenced when you're in the middle of creating something. So but then you don't want to be left alone in a box either, because you want to know what's going on in the world, because you want to be in touch with everyone. You know what I mean? So it's like this fine line, that you have to be in the world, but yet be original.
Absolutely too. And that's why you got to remember also that to me it's all about creating, whether it's film, art, music, dance. It's all expression, you know what I mean? And what I learned is that in order to appreciate it, there is no right or wrong, because no one can duplicate what that person's doing in time and space. No one can do it exactly like that. That's why it's so unique and so right and so good.
I like that, Gary. You said that to me before, and I like that. Only you do.
I appreciate it. It's just like, that's why when people come on my show, half the fun is listening to them and jamming along with them. Who you got there?
It's Roxy. Roxy, say hi.
Roxy.
Say hi.
Roxy.
Anyway.
Yeah, we got well, it looks like we got about 15 minutes left in the show. We're also going to towards the end, we're going to give a little sample of the new song and video me and you have coming out.
I would love to do that.
We'll listen to that at the end.
Video, but we finished our song, one of our songs, and I would love to see what they think.
How did you like the stuff I sent you?
I liked it. It was good. It was good. I can definitely work with that. Yeah.
The only thing I feel that I need to give a little bit better is a close-up of me lip syncing. Because in the other ones, there's only
and your fingers playing the guitar.
I was shucking and driving because it was just my first session. And I kind of needed to write the words down again, only to get it rock solid tight.
Okay.
I'm going to still send that because we still got to get the dialogue stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you think about that character that I have that I made that could be like his robot? Think about it. Like, what's that? You could just have him standing in the corner.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
Remember, I'm like always messing with shit. I got laptops open. I got a magic jukebox.
You have a robot. That's good, Gary.
In the park, I had a robot, and then that's kind of like our Alexia too. We could pull that buzz where you can like, robot, what is? Because you could do the voiceovers of the robot. You don't need me. So all the shit you write for the robot, because you write everything out. That's what I love about doing your stuff with you is it's written out. You know, you write it all out.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think I'm really excited when you do some dialogue. I do want to come into the room and direct you a little bit. It's the first time I've ever been able to do that, so that sounds fun.
Well, that was just the first way.
I'm excited to do this episode with you for Farby. Well, and I hope everyone subs Farby because I think we're going to do some really fun scenes, Gary.
Yeah. Well, tonight I'm going to be rehearsing the other one.
The country song. Gary and I are doing a country song.
Because we got both of those. I send you one wave of stuff. We still got to send you some close-ups of me singing a little bit better the verses, because just little instances where my voice is, you need probably a little bit better lip sync. But you got some groove stuff, and then I'll do that again with the other song, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have two in the okay, and then think about that when you write the scene, because I can have it where it's just that guy there. He's always got
Yeah, I like that. Everybody here first here. Yeah, that's so fun.
You know what I mean? When we're jamming out, you got another fictitious band person now. I know. That's cool. The robot, whether he's on bass or he's on.
I know. See, now it makes sense. If
call them, you know what I mean? Got to name them.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be really cool because you're going to drop down, knock on the door, right? Boom, boom. And then I open the door, come on in. And then you'd be like, what's that? What's that? Right? And then that's why I have, my intergalactic jukebox.
Yes, I'm going to make that Happy Days jukebox. People here. Does anybody know who Chuck Cunningham is? And has anyone heard of the Chuck Cunningham syndrome? That is, I'm so curious to know, if people will remember that character, Chuck Cunningham.
Okay, so Chuck Cunningham.
Maybe if I say Happy Days.
Who was he?
Chuck Cunningham was the brother of Joni and Richie on Happy Days. And he was Chuck Cunningham. He was a basketball player. And they gave him like maybe 1-2 lines. And the real actor was like, fuck, forget this. And he quit. And then they hired someone else. And they still never gave him any lines. And then the next season, they just never talked about him again. Never showed up. And then even at the end of one of the episodes, the dad goes, I love my children, and he didn't even mention Chuck. And so now there is this saying
Oh
in
my Lord. Oh man.
acting. There's a saying.
You're
The
saying
saying, the Chuck Cunningham syndrome, and it means when you're cut off, completely forgotten about, and no one mentions you again in the storyline. So if you have Chuck Cunningham syndrome, that means you have been cut off and forgotten. No one ever talks about you again.
Oh my
And that's who your character is, Gary. You're Chuck Cunningham.
I love it.
You do it.
Did you like his outfit?
Just in the trailer park. Huh?
Did you like his outfit? I thought his outfit was awesome.
I like that outfit. Yeah.
So Mork for Mork or something, man. But,
Totally.
I can't wait to start shooting some of the dialogue stuff. So if we can do that soon. And then in the meantime, I'm going to work on the other song. And then I'll do the same thing with that. I'll film that.
Country song. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to like end and play our song and see what people think. It's fun to hear. They can hear the song, and then when you see it, see what we do with it.
I'm really excited about Kitty Chicken Bunny Girl too, man.
To get back and do that, really, yeah.
I mean,
am too.
But hey, I'm telling you, woke jokes and tokes. If you're just watching the replay, get over and watch Jokes, Wokes, and Tokes, man. It's just my favorite episode.
Yeah, I hope everybody, subs my 2 channels, the Kitty Chicken Bunny Girl Show and Farty. Yeah.
I kind of like this Tuesday time slot for you. It's 4:20 on Tuesday. Because the whole Farby Tuesday
is their favorite day. I know. I was going to play one of my Tuesday songs because I only have like 4. I think I have 4 Tuesday songs.
I love it.
Yeah, because it's a theme. So yeah.
And it's the Nowhere Trailer Park. My husband called the
end of Nowhere Trailer Park.
End of Nowhere Trailer Park
in East Hollywood, and that is really where I live, East Hollywood. Yeah.
Nice. And you just won a Jammy.
Huh?
You just won a Jammy last year for comedy.
Yeah, my jam is back there on my shelf. I don't think you can see it, but it's right. It's shining. I can see it. Yeah.
I'm going to ship out that second one.
Oh, what are you saying? I get a second one?
Yeah, you won another one because you won that one, I thought, a couple years ago.
Yay!
I gotta go. I have to go to the post office and mail a bunch out, but I have tons of these. They are so awesome. Just gotta go mail them out.
I want another one. Thank you.
You want me to tell you how? You want me to tell you how I did it?
How?
Okay, when you go to the dollar store, you see this on when it gets to be close to the 4th of July, they have these, and it has like this tassel on it. It's like paperweights for like picnic benches. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
99 cents, right? But they have, when you clip all the stuff off with a pair of iron snippers, it leaves just this killer pedestal.
Yeah, and you can slip
it's heavy, and I spray paint it gold.
Perfect.
And then I take some tape.
So creative.
Put the tape around here so it gets fatter at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
And then these I get at the dollar store for $1.
Yeah.
But like green and blue,
Yeah.
What I do is I spray paint it gold, and then I drill a hole in the bottom of it, and it fits in perfectly nice and snug because it widens, and then boom, it's just absolute killer jammy.
Golden.
And right now I just got done. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have about 9 of them right now. And I'm going to be sending them all out.
That's cool. That's fun.
Sending them all out in a couple weeks. there's a bunch of people that want it from this year. You want another one this year. I got 2 going out to Empirism in Finland. It's gonna be awesome, man. Because what's kind of cool is you're starting to see these jams.
Cool that everybody's so far away sometimes.
Right.
That's neat. I love that.
So,
well, Gary, thank you so much for coming on and talking about films with me.
Well, we won it. We just winged it. It was just us smoking some weed and talking about movies, you know.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun doing that, and a lot of fun learning about these new movies and stuff, and that there might be some integrity coming back in these independent movies, you know.
Yeah, because it's like this, you know. Think of the money, you know. You make 10 films out of the money that you can make out of one big film, you know, and that one big film might not get the money back. And that's the bad thing about big films, you know, and Hollywood is seeing that, you know, because it's all about money, you know. Yeah. So that's good. I like to see the independent films coming in. Yeah.
Nice. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play, give you a little snippet of a video, just a little, so you can get an idea of what we're doing together. You want to give us the setup on the name of the song?
The Nowhere Tuesday song? Is that what you're going to play, right?
Exactly.
Yes, it's about the trailer park. It's about the end of Nowhere Trailer Park on Farby. So It's called Nowhere Tuesday, and I really love this song.
Yes, and
it's our song.
Gonna probably be the next episode released on Farby too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is just a little bit. So check it out.
Neighbors gather, tails they spin. Round the fire, life begins. And there's nowhere, we always win. And Tuesday's the day it draws us in. Skies so wide and hearts are free. End of nowhere, where we be on this day. It's you and me, celebrating life's degree.
Just a little sample. Just wanted to give you a little sample. Lisa, thank you so much for having me on your show. And we are going to end this thing with a little love. The theme song to the Kitty Chicken Bunny Girl, written and performed by GMAY and Mamsie Graham. The Kitty Chicken Bunny Girl Show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Daisy Lane's from Hollywood, and Ava woke, she understood that Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love. Had aspirations to go far, but ended up as children's stars. 'Cause Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love to the whole wide world. Say na 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 na, yeah. Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love to the whole wide world. Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love. Parker Pebbles writes the jokes, and Donna Dolphin tells the folks that Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love. Had big dreams to go far, but ended up as children's stars. Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love to the whole wide world. Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love to the whole wide world. Kitty Chicken Bunny girl spread love to the whole wide world. chicken, bunny girl, spread love to the whole